world. It's like 4 degrees, and I am here at a camp this weekend, and I'm playing bass guitar and some synth bass. It's been really fun. I was here last weekend as well, playing drums. I'll be here next weekend again, but I've been trying to get more creative with my YouTube videos, and so I thought this would be a good opportunity since I'm away this weekend at this beautiful lake out in the wilderness. I thought it'd be good to just do kind of a talking video in this beautiful location. So I want to talk about filmmaking rhythms. You know, if you're thinking about trying to go out in video production and trying to get some clients and trying to build this thing, I've got some tips for us today that I think can help because they've helped me, and so hopefully they'll be helpful to you. The first one is, I think it's really important to keep a clean office space. And for me, this is something that I'm not naturally great at. I have a tendency to, just my personality is not, I'm not super organized. For me, I have to like work hard at this, and so about once a week, I really just take the time to make sure that my office space is clean. And so for me, my office is in my basement. I've got everything I need for video work down there, and I just try to clean it, as often as I can. And the reason for that is because I'm a firm believer that if you're inspired by the environment that you're in, you'll also be inspired to have more creativity. And it helps me be inspired to use my calendar, my planner, and like do administrative things, which for me it's not natural. And so any help that I can get, any inspiration that I can get to help me with that, it's always a plus. The second thing is, as soon as you're done with a shoot, it's really important to dump your footage right away. So when I first started doing this, I started, just leaving my footage on the SD cards and thinking, I'll get to it, whenever I get around to editing in a couple days or the next day or whatever. But what would happen is I would be, another shoot would come up. I'd get scheduled for another shoot. I'd go out on the shoot, and lo and behold, my SD cards would be full, and I was always afraid, oh no, like did I dump them? Did I not? I couldn't remember. I didn't want to wipe them, and then I'd run out of space on the cards, and it's just not a sustainable solution. And so the easiest way that I've found to keep peace of mind when you're going on different shoots is to dump your footage like as soon as you possibly can. As soon as you're done with the shoot, just go home as soon as you get the chance. Dump it right on your computer, on your hard drive, wherever you're storing everything, and then wipe your card. That way, the next time you put it in your camera, you've got a clean card, and you don't have to wonder if you're going to accidentally delete something or if you should format or not. You know that it's clean and that you can shoot with it. Super, super important tip that I have unfortunately learned the hard way once. So, tip number 3, kind of a smaller thing, but make a charging station. If you start making videos, you start inevitably collecting a bunch of batteries. I like to have them all in one place. I have a actually I have 2 power strips, each just full with USB charging hubs, and then everything goes into that, and everything goes on a shelf. All my batteries are right there. And likewise with the SD card situation, as soon as I'm done with a shoot, I pop out the batteries and I throw them right on the charger because I don't want to go into any shoot afraid that my batteries are going to die or wondering if they're going to be charged or not. So have a space, have a spot where you can put all of your batteries, keep them there, kind of with the office organization thing, like stick to it, take them out, charge your batteries right away. Tip number 3, I actually just learned this the hard way on a shoot. Have redundancies for your audio for sure. If you can have redundancies for video, that's great. I always shoot with 2 cameras. That way I at least have a second angle. But I know sometimes in editing, with one angle it can be harder to make cuts and that kind of stuff. My cameras both have dual SD card slots, and so I try to record to both cards if I can. But primarily audio. Have redundancies for your audio. I was just on a shoot the other week, and got everything set up. And I had, you know, people with lavs on, and I set up a boom mic just in case, because I was like, man, you know, just in case the lav goes out. Sure enough, he was kind of fiddling with it, put it in his pocket, and he had actually turned it off, and so it wasn't recording the whole time. Thankfully, I had the boom mic above for the interview, and the interview was saved. But if I hadn't have done that, I would have been rescheduling a shoot, which would be really, really unfortunate. So yeah, back up everything. Have redundancies. Side note, side tangent. I still don't understand why in 2022 we can't make a decent onboard mic on a camera. Like literally every camera company, the microphone is just terrible, the built-in one. Yeah, so I don't know what's up with that. But maybe they're in cahoots with Rode and all these other companies. They want to get you to buy their mics. Anyway, okay, rabbit trail done. Tip number 5. Tip number 5. Don't buy cheap hard drives. As you go through your videography journey, you'll notice you're going to start accumulating a lot of video files on your hard drive or on your computer, and you're going to have storage for that. When I first started realizing that it was getting pretty bulky, I bought a hard drive that you know, I was working primarily off of like 2 hard drives, one for client stuff, one for personal stuff. Those both filled up, so I bought another one as a backup just to kind of dump everything on. I didn't want to spend a lot of money, so I got like a 5 terabyte hard drive, just like the cheapest one I found on Amazon. And I put everything on there, backed it all up on there. Good to go. I was done with the projects that I was currently working on, so I threw them on there and kept my current projects on my other 2 hard drives. Well, lo and behold, the next day, the hard drive won't connect to my computer. The computer won't even read that it's there, and then it finally reads it, but it's full, and it can't do anything with it. It can't recover anything. I had to take it to a repair shop, and they weren't able to recover anything, which really, really sucks, because now if I want to revisit work from any of those clients, I don't have the footage. So if I'm making, you know, a promo video or something for a reoccurring client and I want to go back and pull a piece of B-roll that we used in a former video, I can't do that anymore. I have to shoot new B-roll. So yeah, don't buy cheap hard drives. I don't even know which one I bought, but I'm telling you, just if you're going on Amazon, if you're trying to order something from somewhere, stick with known brands. SanDisk, Samsung, Western Digital, Seagate, reputable known brands that have been around and they've been doing it for years. Don't buy cheap off-brand stuff just because it's less expensive. Spend the money. It's not a fun purchase, but spend the money on hard drive space. Okay, tip number 6, related to hard drives, to keep your files organized on your hard drives. So keep them organized in a way that makes sense. Keep them organized in a way that you can always work off of your hard drives, like your video editing software. You want it to be able to pull from high-speed hard drives that you work off of. So if I'm doing a client shoot, I get back, I dump the footage, I put them straight on that hard drive. I have the folders out, angle 1, angle 2, audio, drone, B-roll, whatever I'm shooting. Make folders for those in the client folder, in the hard drive. Split out your shots ahead of time in the files, and then when you pull them into your video software, you can know and you can trust that those files aren't going to move. You put them there where they need to be from the beginning, and so you're not going to have to relink files or go digging around your computer or find them in your downloads and that kind of stuff. Just as soon as you get anything for any project, just put it in the folder that it needs to go. And if you do that, your life will be a lot easier. It's a little bit of, you know, sometimes it can be exciting. You want to just jump right into a project. But if you take the time to put things where they need to go, I promise your life will be drastically easier when you're editing your videos. Okay, tip number 7 is have a hard drive system. I know I'm spending a lot of time on hard drives here, but I've learned, originally I had everything on kind of one hard drive. It was just all my personal stuff, all my client stuff. Everything was just kind of off of this thing. And what I found best for me is to have a system of hard drives that I sort of know which, what each one does. So for me, here's what it looks like, and this may look different for you. For me, I have a working client hard drive. So projects that I'm doing for clients that I am working on actively, they go on that hard drive. In DaVinci Resolve or whatever software you're using, it pulls directly from that hard drive into the project. So I'm always working off of that client hard drive when I'm doing client work. And I have a working personal hard drive. Same thing. I'm working off of that personal hard drive when I'm doing YouTube stuff. And for those, I use the SanDisk. It's the orange one with the little rubber bumper. The high-speed one, they're like 2,000 megabytes per second, really fast. Great for editing. I use those. So I have a client one of those, a personal one of those. Then I have two larger hard drives. One of them's 16 terabytes. One of them's 18 terabytes. And those back up my personal and my client stuff when I'm done with them. So as soon as I'm done with a project, I send it to the client. I've made all the edits I need to go, and they say, cool, we love it. They pay me, and we're seemingly done with that particular project. I will take all of the video folders and put those onto my backup hard drive. And it's not as fast of a hard drive, but I can still work off of it if I need to. So I put them on the backup hard drive, and then in my editing software, I relink the files to that hard drive. So client working, personal working, client backup, personal backup. That's it. That's what I do. I find that to be the easiest so that you just keep track of stuff. Okay, tip number 8. This is kind of stupid. I don't even know why I'm putting this in here, but tip number 8. When you're working, when you're moving your files around and doing hard drive stuff and like kind of the boring like administrative stuff, organizing your office, charging your batteries, dumping footage, all that stuff, I like to listen to chill hop. So yeah, maybe chill hop's not your thing, but just some kind of like inspiring instrumental music that helps you just feel like, oh man, it's a vibe. I'm working. This feels good, and I'm getting organized. And so I do that when I'm doing stuff that I don't need audio on my computer for. I just throw on some chill hop, dump the footage, hang out, do administrative things, check my emails, that kind of stuff. Do something that inspires you. Listen to something that inspires you. At the end of the day, like being organized, having a clean work environment, and just really anything like listening to music that can inspire you to be more creative, I think is where it's at. So I like chill hop, and that's what I do. Find something that works for you. Okay, next is know your gear. And I learned this the hard way. When I first started making videos, I had all these different cameras. I was just buying cameras because it was like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to buy this Canon. I'm going to buy this Sony. I'm going to buy this whatever. And so I was trying to make videos with like combinations of these different cameras. And what I found was that like I never spent the time to actually invest in a particular system and to learn that system really well. And so now for me, I am in the Fujifilm system. I've got the X-T3 and the X-T4. And honestly, like I work part-time at a production company. We use the Sony FX3 and the A7S III, and those are great cameras, and using them sometimes it like makes me want to switch, and I'm like, oh man, I could, these are cool, I could switch over. But the reality is like I'm invested in the Fuji system. I have really nice lenses for Fuji, and I know how the cameras work, like in and out. I can quickly get to my settings, and at the end of the day, you're going to produce the best possible footage when you know exactly where things are. Because when you're on the fly, when you're on a shoot, you want to be able to quickly access the things that you need. If you're diving around in menu purgatory trying to figure out a setting, it's like, I don't know what to do on this Sony, it's gonna slow you down. You're gonna cut corners, and your footage is not gonna be as good. So take the time to know your gear and like learn it before just jumping ship and trying to switch brands. We're almost done here. 2 more tips. Second to last tip is use some sort of planner or some sort of analog planner. Now, you can argue it doesn't have to be analog, but for me, I like an analog planner. and I'll just show you real quick. I've got it right here. I use it for everything. This is what mine looks like. It's a really simple setup. This is just graph paper. It has like the little dots, and what I have is really simple. I have, this is my to-do list. This is like kind of a project. Like right now I'm working on a documentary. I have a list of people I need to interview, so just kind of project notes over here. And then I have a calendar for the week. So to do, project notes, calendar for the week. And then on the other side here, I have like anything I'm just kind of thinking through or brainstorming. Right now I'm like, what gear do I need to sell? What gear do I need to buy? That kind of stuff. So these are like extra things, main to do, projects, calendar. And I do this every week. And then as soon as I'm done with something, I put a check mark by it. And that's it. So for me, you know, I listen to Chill Hop at the beginning of every week. I listen to Chill Hop. I'll make my planner out for that week. And the system that I use is just check it when it's done. If you get to the end of the week and you need to punt something off to the following week, I put an arrow next to it. And then when I start my week next week, I look back and I get all of the tasks that had arrows next to them. I write them on my new weekly task list. And then I go from there. And so for me, this just makes sure that I don't forget anything. It makes sure that I'm not relying on just my brain to remember all the edits I need to do, to remember what people I need to reach out to, who I need to send an invoice to, all that stuff. Just, yeah, try to stay organized as best you can. And then the last tip that I have, if you're diving into filmmaking, and I waited way too long before doing this, but it's simply to have a business card. I can't tell you how many times I've been like on a shoot, and like almost every time I'm on a shoot, it ends up leading to new business. I'll be on a shoot and someone says, "Oh, that's cool. You know, what are you doing? Do you work for somebody? Do you work for yourself?" And it'll usually remind them like, "Oh, hey, my relative is having a wedding. Would you be interested in shooting a wedding?" And then they always ask for a business card. And honestly, I had like 6 or 7 people ask me for a business card before I finally was like, okay, I need to make a business card. So it's really easy. I went on Vistaprint. I designed something really quickly in design software, threw it on Vistaprint. Simple, just my name, a picture of me, what I do, email, phone number. That way when people ask me, I have a business card, and I can hand it to them instead of having to go into Instagram, send them a message, or exchange emails or anything like that. Just give them a business card, and then the ball is in their court. If they want to reach out to you, they can. If not, it's no stress off of your back. So have a business card. Super important. And that's it. That's all I've got. I'm sure there's plenty more tips that you guys can think of, and plenty more things to discover as you're kind of growing a videography business. But those are things after about a year into this. No, I'm not a year into it. I'm 8 months into it. 8 months into this. Those are some small tips that I've learned along the way that just help me stay productive. They help me not let people down. They help me not disappoint clients. And I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day is videography is very much a business by which you're helping people. You're giving something to someone. You're creating something for someone. You're helping them tell a story. And if they feel that they can't trust you, if they feel that you lose track of edits, or your edits take too long, or you're forgetful, or you don't show up when you're supposed to be, and that kind of stuff, like, they're going to go to someone else. Or they're just going to be frustrated with you, and no one wants that. So take the time, even if you're like me and you're not a naturally organized person, take the time, get organized. Listen to Chill Hop while you do it. Clean up your office, organize your footage, dump your footage, organize your hard drives. Take the time to learn your gear, use some kind of planner, and have something to reference people to, like a business card. That's all I've got. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Yeah, if you can think of any more helpful tips, I'm still learning, so I'd love to hear them. Throw them in the comments. And if you think I'm way off base on any of this, throw that in the comments as well. I hope to start getting a little more creative with this channel, doing some some more videos like this, some more philosophical kind of talking head videos. I don't know. I may not. Let me know. What do you guys think? Do you like this kind of thing, this kind of style, or is it really drab and boring and do you hate it? I'd love to hear your honest feedback. Thank you guys for watching. I hope some of you found this helpful, and we will see you guys next time.